Hello everyone, I'm Daniel Sauls, the host of the Daniel Sauls Show, and I'm back with another video for y'all guys once again. And today we're going to be talking about a potential fight happening either this year or next year in the super lightweight division or the junior welterweight division, whatever one you want to call it, in the 140 class, you could say. And that's Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero or Rolando Romero, whatever you want to call him. So Garcia and Romero, both of them lost to Gervonta Tank Davis by knockout. So they have that in common. They only have one loss on their record, and that's both to Gervonta Tank Davis. And yes, Gervonta is an exceptional fighter and will always be an exceptional fighter, especially with the knockouts. You know, he's just that dude. But first, before I get into the height, weight, and all that extra stuff that we love to talk about, we're going to look at a little bit of something else. We're going to look at the rankings for a second. So when you look at Ryan Garcia professionally, he is ranked as the fourth best lightweight boxer. The fourth best lightweight boxer, which is 135. Okay, that's 135. He is behind, in order, Gervonta's 3, Lomachenko's 2, and Devin Haney's 1. That's the rankings professionally. That's not my rankings. That's when you look it up. Who is ranked higher? It goes off of the belts, okay? It goes off of belts. That's also another thing. It goes off of the belts. And when you look at it, those are the four ranked. It's Devin Haney's 1, Lomachenko's 2, and then you got Gervonta 3 and Ryan 4. And then you have Shakur Stevenson at 5, and I forgot the rest because they're not relevant. But when you're looking at Rolly, well, Rolly's a 140. So when you look at 140, which is the super lightweight or the junior welterweight, when you look at that division, he's not on the top 10 list. He doesn't make the top 10. Okay, and when you go back to their last few fights, or their last fight, Ryan's last fight was against Gervonta Davis, and before that, he hadn't fought in a whole year. Is that his fault? Absolutely, that's his fault. He should have had a tune-up fight. He was too confident, and he lost. But Rolly Romero fought a guy, an old dude named Barroso, and he looked like he was getting his you-know-what beat. Barroso was putting the pressure on him. He was taking him to the house. He was banging on him. And you know what? It was robbery. They called it TKO. They said that Rolly Romero knocked him out. And when you look at it, that was one of the biggest robberies in the history of sports. One of the biggest robberies in the history of boxing. It was completely asinine. It was 100% terrible of a call. You should have never called that. That was terrible of that ref. So now because Rolly has this super lightweight belt, he thinks, oh man, I get to make all the shots now. I'm all this, I'm all that. So when we look at the two fighters, because they've sparred before, Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero have sparred before. If y'all have not seen the sparring, go look it up on YouTube. You can go watch Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia sparring session. You can go look it up. It'll show you the whole entire thing. I think it's like 40 minutes or something like that. Look at it. And that's when they were both, not really like how they are now. They definitely both, evolved and got better. And that's what we want to see. We want to see them now. But when you look at the sparring session, I don't know if Rolly won that. I'm sorry. I don't know if he won that. Rolly Romero is a very weird fighter, okay? He's very weird. He's very stiff. If you look at him fight, he's very stiff. I don't know why. He throws awkward punches. He sounds weird. And yeah, he has 13 knockouts. That's cool. But he's also pretty slow. He's pretty slow. And Tank Davis, like they were saying, oh, Ryan Garcia is the fastest boxer in the world. He is. But you know what? Gervonta Tank Davis is pretty fast too. And Gervonta had to match that speed. He had to match that speed. He did. He matched that speed. And look what happened to him. Look what happened to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia thought he was going to rely on that left hook. No, he couldn't. He only landed like one. That hook didn't do nothing to Tank Davis. But I tell you this, it might do something to Rolly. Because Rolly don't know what the hell's coming to him, man. I'm sorry, but I would have Ryan Garcia winning this fight. But before I get to the reason why I have Ryan winning this fight, I'm going to tell you a background of the two. I'm going to give you a little background check on what they look like. So when you look at the records, okay, Ryan Garcia is 23-1. He lost to Gervonta Tank Davis, which is his last fight, by technical knockout. He got hit in the liver and dropped. And then, when you look at his height, he's 5'10", weight, he's 140 now. He was 135 against Tank. He's going up to super lightweight or junior welterweight, that's 140. And he's got a 70-inch reach. He also was in a super featherweight class, lightweight class, and now he's going to be in the super lightweight / junior welterweight class. That's what the classes he's been in. Now, when you look at Rolly Romero, he's 15-1, so he has less experience in the ring. He's got 13 KOs, so he's got 6 KOs less than Ryan. He's 5'7", he's 3 inches shorter. They're at the same weight, 140, and he's got a 66-inch reach, which is about 4 inches less of a reach, which is a disadvantage as well. He didn't go down to super featherweight, but he was a lightweight and a junior welterweight / super lightweight. That's what he is, and that's the classes he's been in. So when you look at this for a second, this is what I see when I look at all of this. Ryan has an advantage because he's been in the ring longer. He's got more experience. When you look at the height, he's taller, 3 inches taller, so that's an advantage. Even though you could argue that Gervonta Tank Davis is shorter than Rolly Romero, so it's like, oh, well, you know, it was a 5-inch difference against Tank and Ryan, and then Ryan lost. So I guess you could say that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because this isn't Tank Davis, this is Rolly Romero. And they're at the same weight, so that's about even. And then you have the reach, which is a very big reach difference. 4 inches is a very big difference for reach as well. And Ryan has that also as an advantage. And when you look at the classes, Ryan's been in more classes than he has. He's been in more classes than Rolly Romero. So which means he has more experience in the ring as well that corresponds with the record. He's got more experience. So in every single way possible, he's got advantages stacked up against Rolly Romero. And to be honest with you, when you look at their styles of fighting, I honestly would rather pick Ryan Garcia's over Rolly Romero. I think Rolly Romero is pretty slow. He reminds me of a small George Foreman. Small George Foreman. But George Foreman wasn't stiff as much as Rolly is. Rolly's very stiff. I don't know why, but it looks like he's stiff when he fights. And that's a problem. Normally when you teach somebody how to fight, you tell them get loose, don't be stiff. But this dude's very stiff. He also isn't as fast as Ryan. He's not even close. So if Ryan doesn't knock him out, he'll go off the scorecards. He'll land more shots, probably cleaner shots. And I just think that Ryan would win off of that, to be honest with you. Ryan, like I said, has more experience. He's taller, has a longer reach. You know, he's been in more weight classes, and he's a better fighter as a style. He seems more loose. He seems like he would... And another thing is both of them are pressure fighters. Both of them. They both pressured Tank the entire time. They had Tank against the ropes majority of the fight. Both of them. But here's the thing. I think Rolly Romero was only like that to Tank because he wanted it that bad. Ryan Garcia is like that with everybody. He doesn't play. Ryan Garcia doesn't play. So I think Ryan Garcia would pressure Rolly. I think it would be 50-50, to be honest. Or 60-40 Ryan to be the aggressor. And normally they give rounds to the aggressor, even though it's not fair, they give the rounds to the aggressor. That's just the truth about what they do in boxing with the judges. But to be honest with you, if I had to pick, obviously a 12-round bout, I'd give it to Ryan. I don't know if I'd give him a knockout just off of what I saw. Because, he didn't fight terribly against Gervonta, but it is Gervonta. So, and he was, he had a year off. But I don't think I would give him, I'd say he wins by decision. I think Ryan Garcia wins by decision. If not decision, he'll probably win a knockout round 5th, 6th round. That's my prediction. Either he wins by a 5th, 6th round knockout or he wins by decision. That's what I think. I think Ryan Garcia wins in every single category in this. I don't think Rolly Romero has a shot. I think he's delusional. I think he's a coward. I think he just stuck up in his own head. I don't know what his problem is, but I guarantee you he would lose. So he keeps talking about it. Whoever wins the Ryan Garcia versus him gets Gervonta again. I don't know if either one of them can beat Gervonta right now. I don't think Rolly can beat Gervonta. I don't think he can. I really don't. And I think Ryan Garcia needs to be... I think he needs to get a few more fights under his belt, get more experience, get more active, because he was out for a year before he fought Gervonta. So I think he really needs to get back into it for, a few more years. I'd say give it another 2 years and then fight him again with a different, game plan, obviously. Change it up a little bit. Don't just rely on your left hook. So I think that would be a very big thing for Ryan if he wants to go back for Tank again. I think he could definitely beat Tank. I believe in him. I think he could beat Tank. But I don't think he could beat Tank right now. No way. No way, no how he could beat Tank right now. Neither one of them could. But I think in this fight particularly, Ryan Garcia will beat Rolly Romero if this happens. If this happens, this will be a very big fight. I guarantee you I'll buy it. I'm going to buy this fight. And I guarantee you Ryan Garcia will beat Rolly Romero in that night. Whenever that night happens, he will win. And you should also go tune for Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz on August 5th. And also on August 29th, you got to go look at the fight against Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. That's going to come up for the welterweight championship of the world. I am your host, Daniel Sauls, the host of the Daniel Sauls Show. And I'll be back with another video for y'all guys once again very soon. Please make sure to go like, subscribe, turn post notifications on as always. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about this video. And tell me who you think is going to win this fight, Ryan Garcia or Rolly Romero, and tell me why. I'll be looking in the comments. I'll be glad to respond to those comments. Later, folks.